Hello, all guys, gals, and non binary pals. Welcome to the newest episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast, brought to you on YouTube, on Spotify, on Google and Apple Podcasts. I'm Austin. I'm a knockout, watched a lot of wrestling.
I'm David. I'm a noob. Haven't watched nearly as much wrestling, and
Ohana means family. Family means nobody left behind or forgotten.
Yeah, so for those of you who are not watching the video version of this, Dave, we are recording this in October. This is our Halloween episode.
yes, because I'm gonna be gone for the next 2 weeks. Whoops.
Oof.
And
2
also
weeks
probably
of
for like
this
upload
recording.
time's sake, it's probably better that we do it early anyway.
Yeah, and David is dressed as Stitch. I do not have a
Disney Town
costume
going.
because you see, Eddie Guerrero stole my Halloween costume.
God damn it! You know what? I'll take it. I realize it said the Ohana thing, like family's actually like a good like accidental theme for this. I didn't even think about that. But god damn it, Eddie Guerrero stole his Halloween costume. All right, that's solid. I'll allow it.
Yeah, because we are back in. I didn't have time to do a real Halloween themed thing today, so we are just going to continue on Smackdown 2005.
Yes.
As we continue, clearly the greatest story arc ever told in WWE.
Excuse you. In all of wrestling, first of all,
That's fair. Is the
torrid
parentage, the torrid tale, the parentage of Dominik Mysterio. Dominik, whatever. I was like,
you know? Ray's daughter.
Of course. Imagine naming your daughter basically a female version of your son's name.
That would be fucking sick. Because you know, like there are those parents that do like the every child's name starts with the same goddamn letter because we think we're cute and original. No.
Right.
We're doing explicit variations on a theme of like you're Dominic, you're Dominique. I don't even know what other fucking like variations on those names you could come up with.
You're
but I'm sure
Dom.
You're Domingo.
Yep.
You get the idea. I think that'd be great.
Right. So Dominik Mysterio, it has been revealed, is not biologically Rey Mysterio's son, because allegedly Rey Mysterio is impotent as fuck.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio is impotent. Everybody laugh.
Yeah, and so Eddie Guerrero had a one-night stand with one of his mamacitas, and the mamacita had a baby. And Eddie was like, I don't want to be a dad, thanks. And
no, thank you.
Here, Ray, you need and want a child, so you can just have mine.
Yeah, I know. It was so convenient. Eddie's like, well, I fucked this bitch, but I don't want the kid. Ray can't fuck no bitches, and he wants a kid. It's free real estate.
Square peg, square hole.
Absolutely. No, it's like that one fucking like TikTok where it's like we have the square peg here. Which hole does it go in? The square hole. We have the circle peg here. Which hole does it go in? The square hole. And like all the blocks like fit within the same hole. It's like that. It's like well, this technically shouldn't fit, but here you are anyway.
Yeah. So however, because Eddie is jealous and mad that Ray has beaten him like 6 times in a row, now he's like, I want the kid back.
That's such a random fucking thing to do out of spite, too. Like, why the fuck do you, like, go on a slight losing streak and decide, you know what? I'm gonna, like, blackmail you over the true parentage of the adopted fucking kid that I gave you. Like, what leap of logic?
So Eddie apparently has more revelations tonight on this, I believe is the August 4th, 05 episode of SmackDown. And so we will see how that goes.
More story. Yeah, I thought we were going to be done with the Eddie story times after the last episode, like he told the story, but no, I guess there's like more. There's more to this shit. What else the fuck could you possibly have to say other than Yeah, that's I actually you're my sperm. Sorry about it. Whoop 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 whoop. Like, fuck, what the fuck else is there to say? I'm so intrigued.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. The story's a little weird in that it's like
Really?
in
Really? This
well,
story's kind of weird.
well, I meant in the sense of like it goes out of its way for Ray to like have a child that isn't his, but also isn't that like for Ray to have a child out of wedlock, but for it to him to not have done anything morally iffy.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, you can have a child out of wedlock and not have it be morally iffy. It's just like
Right.
see
It
the
feels like
reason Eddie Mysterio.
it felt like it was setting up for something a lot skeevier than it was.
Yeah, that's what I pointed out last time. Of like, it really felt like the way they were doing this was like the big Rey Mysterio's big sin was like lying to his kid, but we don't even know the full extent of that. If it was just
Right.
like, I'll tell you when you're older, or like Eddie originally wanted me to not tell you, or this was like
Yeah.
part of our arrangement, like.
Mhm.
Or like maybe it is that like Rey Mysterio is a prideful asshole, but like that is his greatest sin. Like they were setting it up like this is gonna be like the downfall of Rey Mysterio, and it's really like, oh yeah, Rey won the kid, and fuckboy Eddie over here had a spare one lying around, and they made a deal, and just Dominik didn't know about it because Dominik's like goddamn 7 years old, and like that's a
Yeah.
weird fucking thing to tell your son.
Right.
But. But yeah, it's so bizarre. That is like the one really weird thing of like, man, they were really setting this up for like Ray to be some sort of like bastard. And no, it's fine.
Nah, it's a little poorly communicated, but it's not like that big of a problem.
Yeah, no, like don't lie to your kid, but outside of that, like, you know, it's not exactly an irreconcilable issue.
Right.
Like it's like we want to tease moral complication, but we can't actually have it get morally complicated.
Ray still needs to be the good guy, so
Eternal
he
babyface
can't do
Rey
anything
Mysterio.
that bad.
Eternal. See, all this teaches me is that Rey Mysterio truly is the eternal babyface. He is impervious from ever doing any wrong, and you don't have anything on him, you fuckers. Leave him alone. That's what I take from this. Is he is truly the goodest boy.
Very true. So other stuff going on is JBL is got a match with Batista at SummerSlam.
Hell yeah.
Great.
Oh man. It's gonna be good. JBL is beat the Undertaker with some shenanigans. And
yeah, he beat the Undertaker because Randy Orton interfered for reasons.
Who wants to see Orton versus not Randy Orton? Who wants to see Batista versus Undertaker when you can have JBL recently re-gimmicked JBL? Well, relatively recently re-gimmicked JBL doing his wrestling god thing, like just two of the most like possible white bread guys you could have in WWE facing off. Man, oh, I don't know about you. I'm excited.
Yeah. Let's see. Other developments worth talking about. We had the debut of Jillian Hall last time.
Oh yeah, the fucking wart thing.
With her weird, disgusting wart mole thing.
Yeah, totally.
Fungal infection. I don't know.
Cookie, face cookie.
It's a lot.
It's not. It's just kind of fucking weird, guys. I'm gonna level with you. This whole like, I love doing this arc, and I love everything about its weird goofiness, but do not let it be lost. A lot of this is still really stupid bullshit. It just happens to be stupid bullshit that I vibe with. It's objectively not great. In this case, it's just my type of chaos.
Yeah.
To be clear.
But she is the fixer for Eminem.
She's like, I'm gonna get you on the cover of Smackdown Illustrated or fucking whatever, and that's the maximum heights that's it.
That is as far as I can go.
And Eminem, totally legit movie stars, look at each other and go, Fuck yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Oh, we're hitting the big time now. I still don't understand why they're supposed to be famous. I know the answer is don't think about it, but it
You're
still
not. Yeah, you're
fucking
not supposed
bothers
to
me.
think about it at
But
all.
how? Why? Why do they have paparazzi? What have they done to earn that? What? Whom?
It doesn't matter. They are
Okay.
just famous, and they have paparazzi following them. That is all you need
All right,
to
whatever.
know.
And now they have a publicist with a weird cookie wart. Amazing.
Yep. The Mexicools are still hanging around, doing stuff.
Yeah. Oh, they did concessions last time because we love stereotypes, baby.
Yeah. I don't think there were anything. I don't think there were any other major things going on last
I don't think
time.
so. No, not really. It's just kind of a bunch of random shit. I'm just fucking incensed that Mexicools interrupted a match that was gonna be featuring my boy Billy Reeves.
Mm-hmm. William Regal is here on SmackDown. Maybe this week he'll wrestle a match.
That would be sick. I somehow doubt it, but it would be great.
Hey, maybe this week we'll get to see Paul London, who, I'll remind you, is the Cruiserweight champion.
Oh yeah. Wasn't he Regal's opponent? Didn't he have something to do with that Mexicool spot last time? I remember something about fucking Paul London there or something.
Maybe?
I don't know. Yeah, we got a champion. He doesn't do much.
No. I'm sure we'll set up something for SummerSlam for the women. I'm sure it will involve them in not having clothes on.
I'm sure it will involve a wrestling ring where a stripper pole should be.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I don't have a good segue.
That's all I got.
I don't have a good segue for the end of this part of the show. So
it's just weird and chaotic. Have fun, everyone.
Yeah. So again, we are watching the August 4th, 2005 episode of SmackDown.
Yes.
If you would like to watch along with us, best way to do that is Peacock TV. NBC Universal streaming service. That's where all of WWE's tape library is these days.
Indeed.
Yep. So we will be back in the back half to discuss some more 2005 SmackDown.
Hell yeah, brother. It's gonna be great.
And we are back. We have just finished the August 4th, 2005 episode of SmackDown.
Man, you told me, Austin, that you did not have time to prepare a proper Halloween episode. I would like to dispute that fact because there is truly nothing scarier to me in wrestling television than filler.
You're right. It's one of those things that we kind of avoid a lot on this podcast because usually storylines take place over lengthy periods of time. So it's basically my job is to watch the filler so that I can tell you it's filler, and we watch the important stuff
skip
on the
ahead
podcast.
Later. Yeah.
But this arc is a little shorter in time, and honestly, we probably could have skipped it, but I picked it because of the Chapter 2 stuff.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
And yeah, this was overall a very fillery episode of SmackDown.
Oh my god.
On the road to SummerSlam.
Dude, I feel so fucking bad for this audience. They got they got 3 matches tonight. 2 of them were, from what I can tell, pretty decent. But that was it. And all the rest was just like fucking promo spots.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some dark matches before and even after the show. But,
and I will say this too, like for like some of the in-ring promos that we got there, if you were a regular SmackDown viewer in 2005 and you were invested, yeah, okay, sure. But still, woof.
Yeah, this is absolutely not an episode for plot progression. I don't have a lot to say about most stuff here except the Eddie
I mean,
Ray
it was
stuff.
plot progression just for shit that I didn't care about. Well, kind of. There was like a couple plot progression things and a lot of dumb bullshit.
I wasn't ready for the Jillian Hall villain breakdown, but
We've
we'll
been
get
with
to
her
that in
for
a
a
minute.
week. What? Why are we getting her Joker posting this or whatever?
I got thoughts on that, but we'll get to it.
Okay, yeah. So we begin, and again, man, I love the insanely overwrought last week on SmackDown recap cold opener. Like,
Mhm.
it puts a filter over some kind of dramatic filter over every shot, and like adds in epic music, and like sometimes does like voice filters and shit. So they recap the what happened last time on the saga of Eddie, Ray, and Dominik. And we got to hear once again Dominik's Oscar-winning delivery of, "Is it true, Dad? Is it really true?" Such a powerful speech.
At 8 years old, he was such a fine actor.
Hey, you know what? Everyone these days loves to hop on the I hate Dominik Mysterio train, and I think that's cringe. I know even you have said he's a little underdeveloped, which like sure, but I can't hate a guy whose last name is Mysterio. But I will hop on the train of, man, 8-year-old Dominik's a shit actor. I vote for this kid, all right?
And they kept bringing him in. This isn't even the last time he does stuff.
Wait, really?
When he pops up again too in 2010, when CM Punk feuds with Ray, or maybe it's 09. I think it was 09 or 2010 or sometime. That period of time, CM Punk acts like a creeper, starts like to fuck with Ray, and they bring in his goddamn kids again.
Oh my
to do
god!
More bad acting.
At 13 years old, Dominik has not improved. Ray, send this poor boy to a theater camp or something. Dear God.
Yeah, it's
at least have him read some Stanislavski. Jesus.
of
But
course.
yeah, absolutely. He's got to know
Watch
theory,
some
baby.
Olivier.
Yeah, come on. Come on, man. Also, you pointed this out when we were watching, because I did not notice last time we watched this, and now that you pointed out, it's the funniest shit ever. So, they show, again, Dominik, like, fleeing from the ring because he found out that Ray was not his dad, and Ray, of course, runs after him. We covered this last time. Except, what's really fucking funny is that there's a very conveniently placed chair on the edge of the ring for Dominik to use like a stepladder to get up and over the ring. But then the best part is, fucking Ray uses that exact same chair to also jump the barricade.
I mean,
because he is such a short king.
Yeah, Ray is barely taller than Dominik.
Ray is so small. Yeah, these days, well, not anymore because Dominik's was Judgment Day, but pre-Dominik heel turn, Ray was fucking riding on Dominik's shoulders to the ring. It's so fucking funny. So we're here, but they play the SmackDown opener, and the show opens properly on a set that we have never seen before.
Yeah, this whole arc has been dominated by, this is the debut of a thing. I guess I didn't realize 2005 was the most significant year in the history of the company.
Oh yeah, dude, of course, it's the year that had the custody battle. The custody battle is like a nexus point of importance. You like everything else, it forms around it and is all of great import.
Yeah, so Ray's coming to the ring, and he is here for the very first edition of the Peep Show, which is Christian's talk show segment.
Yes.
So named because, of course, all his fans are his peeps. There are, of course, no other connotations to the phrase Peep Show.
See, I'm surprised we're pretending like that's the case, because, like, obviously there's connotations, and Christian's such a bastard, it feels like something he would lean into.
Mm-hmm. But Christian introduces us all and his Christian coalition So
Yeah,
his peeps,
once again proving that wrestling really is a religion.
his peeps are also the
His
Christian
Christian
Christian coalition of Captain Charisma. Christian.
Look,
Sees
as
everywhere.
long as they don't come to my house holding Bibles with Christian stupid ass face on it, I'm good.
That's true.
I got
Hello,
no problems.
my name is Captain.
My name is Captain Price.
And I would like to share with you this most amazing book.
Yeah, instead of elders, they're captains.
Yeah, keep with the C theme.
Absolutely. But yeah, so fucking Christian starts bloviating about, oh, Ray, we're here to talk about what happened, and he's kind of being a prick about it, and Ray's like, hey, you promised me Eddie. Where the fuck is Eddie?
Yeah, he immediately is like, I gotta ask you the question that everyone wants to know. Who's your daddy? And
yeah, well, here's
Ray's
the
like,
thing.
What?
He asked that to Ray, and I feel like that's the wrong person to ask Christian.
Yeah, I don't think it lands.
Who Ray's daddy is like extremely common knowledge, considering Ray's full name is Rey Mysterio Jr.
Yeah. Christian recaps what happened. He says Jerry Springer has got nothing on the Peep Show.
Yeah, sure. And then he's like, and then
he tries to do more recap, and Ray's like, hey,
where the fuck is Eddie?
I only said I'd do this because you promised Eddie was gonna be here. So where is it? Let's go.
And then he starts getting all indignant. He's like, hey, fuck you. I'm of all the people who it's like, unlike some other people in this ring, I actually tell the truth. And he starts kind of like
trying to be a talk show host here, sir.
Except a heel talk show host.
I mean, what other kinds are there?
Hey-o! Yeah, all talk show hosts are evil, actually. Fun fact. But yeah, So Christian kind of sucks Eddie's cock and is like, oh, the great Eddie Guerrero. And Eddie's music hits, but he's nowhere to be found. And then, he pops up on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, on the old Titantron.
The old Titantron,
guess what?
pardon me.
That's the specific WWE name for it, because the Titan Towers.
Oh yeah,
is their name of their corporate office is Titan Tower, and so Titantron is what we all can call it. But Eddie shows off. He's got his storybook. He's got his reading glasses on.
Yeah,
and
Eddie's doing a whole fucking middle class yuppie dad shtick, and it's kind of great.
It is. He shows off his brand new T-shirt to Ray. It's I'm your Poppy.
Yeah, he loves being pop. You know, I feel like Eddie could have dealt with all of these impulses of his in a much healthier manner by just getting into kink, finding someone to call him Poppy, and I think that'd be such a healthier outlet. Again, hey, worked for his fucking son.
That's true. But I don't know if that would help Eddie here. He might be a little too far gone.
Well, this is true. I don't think Eddie's would be in a good enough mindset to be a safe practitioner of BDSM. But look, I'm just spitballing here. But yeah, so what cracks me up is that so Eddie's gonna start reading and the crowd's booing him, and Ray's like, fuck you, and he's like, oh, fine, you don't want me to read the story? Fine, I won't read the story. And the crowd boos him again. So the crowd boos him reading his story, and then boos him when he says he's not gonna read the story. And then he's like, I'll tell you what, Ray, I promise you by the end of the night, chapter 2 of the Uncle Eddie's story time is gonna be finished. And the crowd boos him again. Motherfuckers, make up your minds. Do you want the story or not?
We just really don't want this storyline anymore. We're just please stop.
Man, everyone in the club, they're like, man, this got kind of fucking weird. This fucking weird.
I loved it. Eddie was trying to start reading. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Dominik, and Ray's like, hey, no, you get down here.
Not this shit again.
And eventually Eddie is
the best part is just real quick. The best part is knowing later what chapter 2 is. I really, really want to know how Eddie would have narrated that.
I agree.
We'll get to that later.
We'll cycle back to it when we get to chapter 2.
Yes.
But I loved Eddie afterwards being like, "Now, Ray, you're being very rude. I don't like people who are rude."
Again, middle class yuppie dad shtick.
No. So Ray Eddie says that he is a man who keeps his promises, and he promises that he'll finish chapter 2 by the end of the show. He's got a feeling that Ray will really like it.
Yeah. And okay, the face he makes when he says that.
I can't imitate it.
I got a feeling that you're really, really gonna like it. And man, I'll have whatever the fuck Eddie's having, because that man was on another plane of existence.
He was going wild tonight.
I want to know if I want to know what he was on, because oh man, that looked like some good shit.
Yeah. And then of course, after he says that, Christian pops up and is like, "You'll like this too," and he whacks Ray in the back of the head with a microphone.
Hey, you watch tape? That's cute. Watch this, and just fucking bops him.
Hits him with the unprettier and leaves him laying in a ring.
Okay, also one other quick thing I want to point out is I just kind of realized on the prop for Eddie's storybook, there's a picture of his face, but it's like an old picture, because it's like pre-highlights in his hair and a mustache instead of a goatee. This is like an older picture of Eddie.
Is it a picture of what he looked like 8 years ago?
I don't know. Why?
They don't give a good enough chance to. They don't give a good enough look to like see the picture, I think, for me to give a look at it. But it would fit the theme. It's a picture of what Eddie looked like when the story happened.
Oh shit. I mean, look, I would like to believe that's the case, but also, do I think that the WWE props department went that hard on it? No. I don't even think they got a near enough direction. They were just told, "Hey, Eddie needs a storybook. Do it, you monkeys." And that was the whole conversation. They were like, "Okay then."
All right.
So the more of the show upcoming gets advertised, and boy, there's gonna be a contract signing between Batista and JBL.
Oh, hey, no, we don't need to get ahead of ourselves for the most exciting part of the show. We get Jillian Hall is talking directly into the camera, and
not yet. They advertise. They advertise.
I never write the notes for the advertising. But
I wrote a note because I was like, oh boy, there's something I'm fucking excited about. A goddamn contract signing between Batista and JBL. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm real excited for that.
Mm-hmm. So then we get Jillian Hall talking directly to the camera, and she talks about how she has carried a burden, and that there is a blemish on her face, and it has blemished her soul. And
oh my
that
God.
Most people would be ashamed, but she is not ashamed. And
specifically you people. You people would be ashamed.
Yeah, and so she she moves her hair back so that you can see the wart thing.
And she encourages a close-up, which
close-up!
My man, my sister in Christ, please stop encouraging that the camera do close-ups on this horrible-ass mole prosthetic. It's not blended at all. That shit's so clearly stuck to your face with just, like, the cheapest spirit gum they could find. Like, it just ruins the whole effect, as if the effect had anything to ruin to begin with. I am begging you, for the sake of this angle, stop.
Yeah, she's like, does it make you uncomfortable? I'm like, yes, but not for the reason.
Yeah, but not for the reasons that is supposed to. No.
It makes me uncomfortable how fake this looks. And she's demanding that we in the audience look at her in the eyes, not at her wart thing. And she says she has a purpose. She is a fixer for Eminem, and that's what she's gonna do. So
I got them on the goddamn cover of SmackDown Weekly or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah, this promo feels like her as a character. This Wart crap could be sympathetic to her in a way that that she owns the fact that she's not she's not afraid or shies away from the fact that she has this birth.
Yeah, I will say the thing I had to say about her
face.
last week being a confident queen was absolutely true.
Yeah,
she leads directly into that,
and that could be a really sympathetic arc, piece of business for her character. But she is a heel, so
a heel woman having an arc about learning that it's okay for her to have a slight facial deformity in my WWE. No, sir. No, ma'am. No.
This promo feels like it's trying to take this element of this sympathetic element to her character and put a heel spin on it by trashing the audience and placing herself as above the audience because you people would be afraid to have this blemish and it makes you uncomfortable, but not me.
Which she do have a point though. We just don't like her because she's uggo. That's it. That's the whole character. Hey,
she is unlikable because she uggo is the gimmick.
This bitch has the audacity to not be a 10 in your presence. Shame her. Destroy her.
Shame her.
Draw and quarter her in the streets.
Yeah, it is a bit of a weird way. If it were me, I would just not remark on this at all for the time that she's supposed to be a heel manager. And we can circle back to it when she turns babyface. But no.
Babyface?
Yeah, sort of.
Oh.
Well, she gets away from them anyway. From Eminem at some point.
Well,
I don't know.
To be fair, Eminem kind of gets away from Eminem at some point. So
yeah. So I don't know. It feels like I don't know. It feels weird to frame her self-empowerment in this way.
As Joker posting? Yeah, it's a little fucking bizarre.
Right. And it's a character we've known for a week, and I can't imagine that people were that crazy about this character to begin with. So.
I do have to say, at the very, very, very least, and this is the most backhanded compliment I can manage, however, I do appreciate that WWE had her make a "my eyes are up here" joke about her mole, while also having noticeable cleavage. So
yeah.
Kudos that they and she didn't do it my eyes are up here. She was look me in the fucking face, and I kind of looked at him man, you can kind of see your boobs, and they're not lampshading that. It took a dumb fucking mole angle, but there is one woman on this roster where the company is not solely fixated on her tits. Congratulations.
That's nice.
This is fine.
And as she ends the promo, we do we follow her in the shot as she walks down the hallway to the ring.
Yeah, we start doing a tracking shot. It's what the fuck? Why is this still going?
Well, it's because she has to walk past Sharmell and Booker T, and then Booker T hits his line. Tell me I did not just see that.
Yeah, and except it's
about the mole.
Yeah, I'd like to believe that it's about her weirdly Joker posting, but it's probably just about the mole.
No, it's just
Booker's just offended that he had to look at the mole. Oh my god.
Yep. Yeah. All right. The first match of the show: Eminem versus Booker T and Chris Benoit. And if you thought that commentary was done fixating on the mole, well.
Yeah, literally, Taz still can't shut the fuck up about the mole. Okay. All right. Also, as they're walking out, something I noticed. Mm-hmm. Something I noticed real quick. So, they have on the ring apron, on parts of the ring apron, they have WWE.com boldly advertised. And two things here. First of all, I noticed, maybe I'm crazy, but as far as I could see, at least in like this early match, the ring apron looks like a little too long and like cuts off the bottom of the letters for WWE.com, which just is funny. Like, guys, what are you doing? But also, imagine, I love how 2005 it is for you to just be like fucking advertising your website on your ring apron. Hey guys, did you know that WWE.com exists? Well, now you do. With a parent's permission.
Please get parents' permission before logging on.
It's here for the boomers and for the tiny children. It's
Yeah,
like it's dumb. Also shout out to before the match starts. I missed most of the context for this quote, but I did catch a snippet of an exchange between Cole and Taz. That one with Cole saying, "What the hell are you talking about?" And Taz just says, "I have no idea." And I'm like, boom, that's the dynamic. That's the whole dynamic right there.
I have some ideas about what that could be about, but I have done the play-by-play of this the Eminem entrance.
Please.
Where, okay, Cole brings up Jillian Hall, and he calls her a fixer, and he says maybe she should fix her face, to which I wrote, "Thanks, Cole." And then Taz is like, well, she doesn't have to fix the greatest entrance in the history of the business, talking about Melina. Because as a reminder to those who don't know, Melina's entrance is her doing a split and showing her ass on the apron. So, of course...
Austin, I think you could just truncate that to saying Melina's entrance is ass, and it would communicate the exact same thing.
So Taz, of course, like, this is the greatest entrance in the history of wrestling.
Because, God forbid, we don't have a heel commentator that just relentlessly horny posts. Right.
So this is what I assume is the part of Cole of him not knowing him being like, "What are you talking about?" This or one of 2 points that Taz. Actually, I think it's the next thing. So Taz talking about the fucking mole again. He suggests that he's like, I think there's some light brown pus in there because it looks darker. It looked like it was darker last week. And then when Booker T comes out, and Booker T has these big like fire shooting pyro when he comes out, and Taz is like, "Hey, you see Booker T's got all that fire down there. Maybe we can use that to burn off the mole."
Mm-hmm.
And he goes on a long rambling explanation about how you could do that kind of thing as a medical as a medical process. And that is probably when Cole was like, "What are you talking about?
The fuck are you saying? Stop it.
Jesse, what the fuck are you on about?"
Yeah, Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, that's literally the whole dynamic here. Also, he likens it to a pepperoni, which, okay, last week, I could
stop making it about food.
I could kind of see the chocolate chip cookie thing, but a pepperoni Tasmaniac? Ah, yes. Her mole is like a fine slice of my mama's blueberry pie.
He has another food analogy that I wrote down.
Like one right after that, and I didn't even fucking catch it. I'm too busy reeling from the fact that he called the mole a fucking pepperoni. Boopity boppity. Jesus Christ.
All right. So, I mean, the match is whatever. It's all the matches on this episode. None of the matches on this episode were like bad. Well, one kind of was, but none of them were also so standout that I have any particular notes about them.
And my frame rate was ass. The other scary thing about tonight is that I had Night of the Living frame rate up in here as I saw for the entire thing, like one picture every 5 seconds.
Looking like me trying to pirate WWE in 2015.
Hey, except for the one, it managed to hit perfectly for the whole women's match.
Me for the this sound that sounds like my experience when the roommates didn't like me watching wrestling, so I went down in the fucking basement of the
I know.
of my dorm building to try to watch Raw live, and it's like, oh god, the internet's not good down there in the basement.
Oh
You
no.
know.
But it hit for the women's match, and I'm not a religious man, but as a proof of God, that one's all right. Anyway, yeah,
Booker and Benoit have the early control of the match because they're
They're
good
Booker and
wrestlers.
Benoit.
So right. So that's that. I wrote Cole is now taken to completely ignoring Taz's comments about Jillian Hall. Because
Absolutely.
Taz did a lot of long rambling about it, and Cole had no response to any of it. Taz goes on this entire long rant about like different ointments that they could potentially put on this fucking mole.
Oh my
and Cole's response to the entire bit of it is like, maybe.
Cole is just checked the fuck out at this point. He's like, I don't know what the hell Taz is saying. I don't really care. I'm just gonna like kind of nod my head and hope he shuts up eventually.
Like last week, he was all indignant that Taz wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Okay, well,
Cole
he was trying to be indignant, but he just couldn't stop fucking laughing. So
this week, Cole's just like, it's like whatever, man.
Michael Cole out of kayfabe was like, all right, the way that I don't laugh is I just ignore him.
I just don't even remark upon it.
I just don't listen to the words that he's saying, and I'll just interject when I can. Amazing. But
Eminem does some cheating to kind of get back into the match. And at this point, Taz calls the mole a big piece of expired crump cake.
What? I missed that entirely.
He was a little quiet when he said that one. Yeah, I was like, I have to write this down because the fuck.
Ah, yes. This mole. It's like when you have an ice cream and the ice cream melts, but then you put it back in the freezer again and it refreezes, and then you eat it and it's in your mouth with the cone, and you open your mouth and that's the mole. That's literally Taz is just like, I think Taz is just doing Mad Libs to describe this mole.
Yeah,
okay.
And to think we have like up to 2 more times of having to hear this about mole of how Taz.
I want to know. I want to know if Taz like tested this material on Young Hook. Like, do you think like, hey buddy, help me come up? I gotta commentate on this really fucking ugly mole prosthetic for a new character. What, like, you kids are good at like playground insults. What should I call it? And like, embryo Taz is like a cookie, and Taz is like, oh yeah, that's good shit. I'm gonna write that down.
That's good. And you can bet your ass that Vince McMahon was in the gorilla position backstage, laughing his ass off at this entire thing.
Oh, absolutely.
A piece of crump cake.
A piece of crump cake. Oh, that's a good one. That's why I pay him the big bucks on commentary.
Call it like a pepperoni.
Oh,
he's feeding Taz jokes.
Taz is an earpiece. Taz is wearing an earpiece that is set to like self-destruct if he doesn't like repeat the shitty jokes that Vince is feeding him. And Vince is back there being like, I haven't heard anything this damn funny since fucking Pat said that we should give her a hand to
that was peak
when Mae Young gave birth.
This is the funniest thing since Lord Alfred Hayes puked up Hulk Hogan's protein shake.
Since we bought out a whole ass wedding hall just to have a fake reception that ended in the world's most lethargic food fight.
that was the good old days.
I am a comedy god.
Oh, that was the good old days when me and Pat booked the shows by the pool and snorted cocaine.
Now we gotta book them in hotel rooms, smoking crack instead. What a downgrade! Oh, how the mighty fall!
So, hey, audience, can you tell how much we didn't give a shit about this match?
Yeah, all right, whatever. The match ends where Booker T does a hot tag. Benoit throws Johnny Nitro out of the ring and gets in the crossface, and Nitro's tapping, but of course it doesn't matter. Booker T hits the spin-a-rooney. He sets up for the axe kick. Melina grabs his foot. Sharmell runs around, chases after Melina on the outside, and chases her into the ring. Jillian Hall comes in and spear tackles Sharmell. And then while Booker T is like, hey, he's making sure his wife is all right, Joey Mercury rolls up Booker T and grabs the ropes for leverage and pins Booker T for the win.
Oh my god. Yeah. Wow. Oh my god. That was a match.
After they spend the entire match talking about how the winner of this match surely will be in position to challenge the Legion of Doom for the tag titles, shockingly, the team that is already feuding with the Legion of Doom and are the heels won the match.
Yeah, wow, no way. Against Booker and Benoit. Okay, whatever.
That's two former world champions beaten by Eminem.
That's just embarrassing. That's just humiliating.
Yeah,
and Vince and Vince is just like pepperoni. That's a good one.
That mole is disgusting.
Yeah, no. Everyone's like, hey Vince, what the fuck is up with this booking decision? Pepperoni. yeah, pretty much.
Good times.
Anyway.
All right, we get another Raw rebound of the ongoing story of Eric Bischoff hates John Cena. I was kind of hoping we get Raw rebounds of the Hogan Shawn Michaels stuff, to be honest, but because that's way more fun.
And we got a whole ass thing. Yeah,
basically Carlito is facing Cena for the WWE title. Jericho is the special referee. Eric Bischoff is like, whatever you do, screw Cena out of the title. And
pretty
Cena, LOL, wins, overcomes the odds. Fuck you. Cena's keeps the title.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, we just got. Why are they showing that again? Like, oh yeah, it was Cena Jericho at SummerSlam, I guess. Oh my god, the full ass Raw recaps. Holy shit.
Yeah. So then we cut to Christian is walking down the halls, and Teddy Long comes and stops him and talks to him about the Peep Show. And Christian is like, yeah, that was great. And Christian proceeds to say hey, you can't have entertainment without charisma. And I'm Captain Charisma. That's why I'm the main event. And Teddy Long is like, yeah, it's the main event play. I like the sound of that. So tonight, you're going to go in the main event. You're going to go one-on-one with Rey Mysterio.
Teddy Long
like, wait!
Dealing out that fucking poetic justice, baby.
What a king. But we have another instance of main events being made in the middle of the show. What was the main event of this show going to be if Christian didn't attack Rey Mysterio at the beginning of the show?
Because they had no wrestling on this show, Austin.
Was the main event going to be LOD versus the Jobbers?
I surely hope so. What a fucking way to send the audience home.
The Mexicools were going to have a match, and Paul London was going to be there too. But, Christian attacked Rey Mysterio, so, they're getting cut.
I really don't want to, make a running gag on our show out of, beating a dead horse like this. But, man, it's so like brain bashing to think about. Every single fucking time we're in the WWE era where they would just do this shit. How is this supposed to work? What did you have planned for your audience? Why are you making people pay prime like seat fare to watch a show that's not even fully booked? You absolute carnies.
Based on the way it was advertised, I would assume the main event was actually going to be the contract signing. That would be my presumption.
Yeah, that's probably kind of accurate. Like, just why not? There are two biggest stars, and who cares if they're not going to wrestle? You know what audiences love? Fucking contract signings.
That's what wrestling fans like. Not action. Not excitement. Legally.
Contracts. Absolutely. That's what I love. That's why I get actively angry every time I watch wrestling and there ain't contracts. I need more contracts in my wrestling. Thank you very much. But yeah, so the match is booked. Poetic Justice from Teddy Long. What a king, even if he's not good at booking his show, just like all the other clowns who run this shit.
We get a lengthy recap of JBL versus The Undertaker from last week because it is time for the contract signing. Okay, I felt like the timing of this was kind of weird in a funny way. So out comes Teddy Long with the contract that, of course, has in huge
big ass letterhead.
Huge letterhead of the logo for SummerSlam, and in very big font, it has Batista versus JBL on it, so that everyone can know exactly what this contract is for. And then we quick cut to Josh Matthews running back in the hallway to accost Randy Orton and ask him about jumping The Undertaker last week. And Orton is like, I didn't jump The Undertaker. I just gave him back what Taker did to me. And I thought I might have to explain some backstory here, but Randy will get to it later. Yes.
Yeah.
And then he's going to make his intentions clear to The Undertaker tonight. Okay. Whatever, dude. But so then we cut back to the ring, and Teddy introduces JBL and Batista. As JBL comes down to the ring, there was a funny exchange where Taz, trying to give some backstory on JBL, calls him an implant of New York, which of course he meant transplant.
Well, yeah, and then Michael Cole brings that up, and Taz like, I don't fucking care for all I care. I could have said eggplant.
So, yeah, and then Cole pipes in with the last word and is like, are you saying JBL has implants?
You know, I've just come to the conclusion Taz shouldn't do this show while he's hungry. Clearly.
He has a lot of food commentary.
Yeah, so Taz can't tell the difference between transplants, implants, and eggplants. Okay, cool.
Yep. They're all plants.
They're all plants.
It says right there in the word.
Come on, people. This isn't rocket science here. It's just etymology. It has plant in the word.
Of course.
Absolutely.
So then Batista comes down to the ring and he like fucks with JBL's JBL has like the bull horns on the front of his car. And Batista fucks with him and breaks off one of the horns off the limo.
Oh yeah. And JBL gets big mad.
Oh, he's so pissed about this.
He's so fucking mad, dude. It was great. Yeah, Batista snaps off the horns, gets in the ring, and
Batista's response to this is JBL is complaining and he's like about this, and Batista's response: if you try anything with me, you'll be pulling your horn from your ass.
Well, first he like De Niro pose. He's like, "Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Well, there's no one else here, so you must be talking to me."
It's funny that you mentioned that because, and I thought of this while I was watching when he also was like, "You talking to me?"
Yeah.
During WrestleMania 21 was in LA, and so in the build up to that, they had a bunch of commercials where like wrestlers recreated famous scenes from movies. And one of those scenes was a bunch of wrestlers doing the "you talking to me" De Niro thing. And the joke the best joke was Batista couldn't remember the line, and so whenever they would be like, "Hey, you talking to me?" and he would be like, "Yes, I'm asking you what the line is."
Oh my god! Wait, they did Who's on First with Batista doing a Taxi Driver homage? What the fuck? You know,
there's a lot of good ones. There's a lot. You should absolutely look up some. There are a lot of good ones. There's like Steve Austin does the Gladiator, like, are you not entertained? Triple H does the scene from Braveheart. Eddie and Booker T do a scene from I am blanking. The movie with Tarantino's biggest hit. I'm
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, yes, I can't believe I blanked on that. But like Eddie and Booker do the briefcase scene from Pulp Fiction.
Oh my god,
it was hilarious. There are a lot of really good ones.
Man, that's like it sounds like it deserves to go on a copy of Bodies, Bods, and Body Slams.
Absolutely. If they did another bloopers, bleeps, and body slams,
God damn, you almost did it.
Every time I say.
The best part is,
bleepers instead of bloopers.
I went back and listened to the whatever episode we did prior to bloopers, bleeps, and body slams, and in the episode before where you talked about it, you called it bleepers, bloops, and body slams.
God damn it! In my mind,
you're like, next time.
Bleepers makes more sense to me than bloopers. Clearly,
obviously, yeah, I know. But. What were we talking about?
I was talking about that. It was funny that Batista was like, "You talking to me?"
Yeah. So what I'm getting is that Batista finally got the line down. He got really excited, so he's like, "I'm gonna use that in my next promo."
I gotta remember that the line was,
"I will vindicate myself." Yeah. So Batista's like, "Are you talking to me?" Then he says he'll shove the horn up JBL's ass, and then say the line, JBL, "I'm a wrestling god." Yay!
Yeah, he basically, like, once we actually get the proceedings started, JBL basically goes scoreboard. And
scoreboard!
Basically called scoreboard. Because he brings up these 1-0 against Batista, and he promised that he would beat him at Great American Bash, and JBL keeps his promises. And at SummerSlam, Batista will bow at the feet of the wrestling god. And I wrote, Batista meets that with smug indifference.
Absolutely.
Is what I wrote that. But Batista questions JBL.
I feel like Batista's whole character is smug indifference, fair.
That is a lot. Like 2000s top WWE babyface is smug indifference. Cena mastered it too. It's clearly what they want their top babyfaces to be
cool. Like. You're so edgy. Also, I just got a sidetrack. It was a nail biter, but fucking Bills pull it out against Chiefs 24-20. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Speaking of scoreboard.
That's the best part. You said scoreboard. I was like, scoreboard. Oh shit, what's the score?
Yeah. So Batista decides to like get at the heart of JBL's core belief system.
But Batista starts playing like a master theologian. And is like, what makes you a god exactly?
I'm like, whoa.
The JBL theology starts being brought into question.
Right. He questions basically like, is it because of how you won and defended your WWE title? Because you took the easy way out for that every single time.
To which JBL says,
like,
work smarter, not harder.
Way.
Yeah, work smarter, not harder, lads. Which,
he's like, yeah,
fair
sure,
enough.
Whatever. But he's like, yeah, okay. And he says that JBL is not a wrestling god. He's a wrestling fraud.
Say the line, Batista. You're a wrestling fraud. Yay!
Yay! And JBL, he's like, this is the World Heavyweight Championship, and you got to earn that around here.
Yeah. Speaking of Batista quoting like classic movies, Batista's also clearly a fan of fucking Saving Private Ryan, as he goes, "Earn this."
But after I guess it's time. I guess there's been enough talk. It's time to sign the contract.
For the signing contract. That's how it goes.
They both sit down and they start to sign. Batista gets it first, and he like takes a minute to, I guess, read over the contract. But JBL decides to try to condescend him and is like, "Yes, it starts with a B and then an A."
Yeah, but so JBL thinks Batista's illiterate. Amazing.
So Batista, he signs. I wrote Batista is distinctly not reading this contract. He's just kind of
he's
just flipping
again smug indifference.
So he signs the contract and he hands it over to JBL. And JBL, there's probably too long of a pause on this, but like JBL like looks at it and is just kind of like confused for a while.
Yeah.
And then he starts laughing and he explains. He calls Batista, "Are you smug?"
He literally calls out the smug indifference.
But he explains that there is a line in this contract for what the stipulation of the match will be. And Batista left it blank. And Batista explains that he will let JBL decide so that JBL will not have any excuses when Batista whoops his ass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Batista, again, smug indifference is like, I'm not letting you pull your bullshit.
Which,
JBL, you magnificent bastard, I read your book.
But I wrote JBL.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've now determined I need to make a running gag out of Batista's secret cinephile. That's gonna be my thing for him going forward, because he's don't got a fucking personality of which to speak outside of that. So that's what I'm going with.
That checks out. So then Batista, JBL gets in a little smart remark here that was really quick, but I wrote it down because I thought it was I actually kind of liked it. He's like, $1 million brain with a nickel, with a $1 million body with a nickel brain. Hell of an elevator that goes nowhere. JBL starts listing off matches he can make this match. And listen, and I think honestly, people do not take good enough advantage of I get to choose the stipulation. So
well, he considered
if
some
it was
bullshit.
If it was me, I would simply write, "I automatically win." That is the stipulation of the match.
That is the stipulation. I have to step into the ring and I win. Well, see, JBL's mind went somewhere completely different, because at one point he lists out as a possible match type, "I run Batista over with my car."
That's illegal. A match where that's a legal idea.
Yeah.
But I think he should have written, "Only people named JBL can win" match.
You can't. The ref's not allowed to count your pins if your name isn't JBL. To which Batista replies, "Well, shit, I guess it's time to get a legal name change."
Yeah, I go, well. He lists false count anywhere, no DQ. He does a couple of times suggest, "Maybe I'll make it so I can legally hit you with my car." But then he decides that it will be a no holds barred match.
And you know what? As much as I'm bitching about the white bread of this, that'll be actually a pretty sick match, I think.
Yeah, and then they just leave. I was like, no table?
Yeah, there's no table. I thought for sure we got two of the biggest, dumbest, beefiest boys here. And I was like, what
was Orlando Jordan there for? If not for someone for Batista to put to a table.
I was like, oh, they're going to do some fighting. And just, no, they leave. Where the fuck is Bailey when you need her to be like, hey, that's not how this shit works. Get back in here. Which, sidebar, I still cannot watch any contract signing without remembering Bailey lampshading the entire fucking trope, and it was great. But anyway,
it's been great in the last 10 years that it's been understood the tropes about contract signings, and so now everyone lampshades it.
Absolutely. Well, you have to think in kayfabe. That's probably why they get booked for in-ring spots, because the booker knows
they know that these guys will probably start fighting.
Yeah, exactly. So
we could do this in the back, like we do 99% of other matches, or we could give them an excuse to talk shit at each other and start fighting.
We could squeeze some entertainment value. Yeah, I mean, it does make sense in kayfabe, to be fair. But anyway, but yeah, so they leave and no table smashing to be seen. We cut to a backstage segment where Animal's, still continuing to initiate Heidenreich into Road Warriors.
Yeah, he's applying his face paint. He's in front of the mirror, and Wright comes, he's like, man, I really love my new haircut. I'm feeling it. Feeling it. Animal's like, if you're feeling it, then show it. And he slides him the makeup as we cut to the end of the scene.
And then we get more shit for we get an advertisement for the card for SummerSlam, and oh man, Michaels v Hogan is coming, baby.
Yep. Even though we are definitely going to watch that match if we can, even though we haven't
battle of the backstage politickers.
Mostly because I can't see a reason on the show to do 2000. I don't think the storyline is good enough for me to want to make it a whole arc on the show, but like we can't do SummerSlam 05 without doing Michaels v Hogan. It's the match from the show. I made a note of, hey, it's the other Seether song I know, Remedy, because Remedy by Seether is the official song of SummerSlam.
It's so wild to me how they had official songs for their pay-per-views. Like
they still
random.
Do.
That's so random.
The best of all time, in my opinion, of course, is in SummerSlam 2015, where the song of the pay-per-view was "Cool for the Summer" by Demi Lovato.
Of course,
the best part of this is that The Undertaker did a promo running down the car of SummerSlam, and they played the song over him his promo. So
that's amazing.
Phenomenal.
I desperately need to see Mark Calloway jamming out at a Demi Lovato concert. This whole business with the pronouns confuses me. But man, are her jams sick.
Yeah. Holy fuck is a good album.
I think if you heard The Undertaker say that, I think you would just liquidate on the spot.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't think you'd be able to existentially survive that.
I wouldn't know how to handle it, really, yeah.
Maybe it's for the best.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to really... I'd be like, what did you just say?
What? Excuse me?
Huh?
Mark? Sir, excuse me?
Yeah.
Oh, I love our dumb fuck tangents. Anyway.
The next match is LOD versus some jobbers.
Which
now
okay.
Heidenreich is now wearing face paint.
Okay. That face paint segment was a pre-tape. There's no way it was live.
Yeah. Of course it was.
No. There's a specific reason I realize this. Because as someone who has tried to emulate wrestler makeup in the past, no fucking way Heidenreich got that makeup to look that good, that fast. Even if there was a commercial break thrown in, I refuse to believe that motherfucking Heidenreich is better at makeup than I am. I refuse to, because if I actually entertain that idea, I think I'll just become sad forever.
That's fair. So I managed to catch the names of the jobbers so I could make fun of how bad and generic they are. Josh Davis and Damian Adams.
Hey man, we heard you liked first names. What if we gave you 4 of them?
Taz is sexist,
and that's your weekly that's your weekly jobber burn, folks. Yeah.
So Taz is sexist about the makeup because Cole calls it makeup, and Taz's like, no, it's face paint. It's not makeup.
Okay.
Girls wear makeup.
I was about to write a whole hashtag Squad W note about how sexist that was of Taz to say, and then I stopped and I thought about it for a second, and I thought, why not turn these lemons into lemonade? Because Taz gave me a brilliant idea of what if we created a psyop where we mainstreamed dudes wearing makeup by calling it face paint? What if we tricked dudes the world over, especially in Western countries where ideas of masculinity are fucking weird, and with hey, you know what the hot new trend is? Face paint. Just casually wear face paint and you go out, and it's just a way to get dudes to wear fucking foundation, concealer, a little bit of eyeliner, just to really make their features pop. Like, the world would be so much better off, I think. So I would like to thank Taz and his dumb misogyny for this brilliant idea of how we can finally get dudes to like stop looking like such fucking schlubs out there and wear some goddamn makeup in public, you coward.
Well, your first convert will be Michael Cole, because Michael Cole actually jumps in there's like, well, I wear makeup.
I wear makeup. I think Taz is probably wearing makeup too. They have to for the broadcast.
Anyway, the LOD win with the Doomsday.
Wow, no way.
Who fucking cares?
They defeated the power of 4 first names? Holy shit.
I'm seeing double 4 first names.
Double 4 first names. Oh god, I love that bit.
All right, we get a Subway recap of the opening segment. Great.
Hey, Jared sponsors seeing Rey Mysterio get beat up by Christian Cage again.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's an asshole, so that's hands.
And then, hey, is it what you say? It's Randy Orton coming out in a suit.
Oh yeah.
And Randy Orton is cutting a promo, and I wrote, he just bitches about Undertaker beating him at WrestleMania 21. That is what he's talking about when he was like, I'm just giving back what Undertaker gave to me. Is because at WrestleMania 21, earlier that year in 2005, Randy Orton faced The Undertaker to try to break the streak, and Orton failed.
Dude, fucking Orton assaulting Undertaker last week just because he's salty about the streak is so fucking funny. Like, oh my god. Like, get in goddamn line, you dweeb. Everybody's salty about the streak. That's the point. You're not special. But yeah, so he tries to call out Undertaker, and the Undertaker music hits,
I got the whole promo down here.
Oh, okay. Pardon me.
Is because Randy Orton, he blames fate for intervening and stopping him from winning when he was supposed to win. I don't see how that works out at all.
Especially because fate's not something you can challenge to a wrestling match, so you're pretty much impotent saying that shit anyway.
Yeah. It's fate isn't God. You can't challenge fate to a match.
God.
But Randy Orton for some reason, Randy Orton believes that on SmackDown, fate could not possibly intervene to fuck him again, if this is what he believes happened here.
Randy Orton clearly doesn't understand how fate is supposed to work.
No, but he says fate can't stop him from getting what he needs, and what he needs is to beat The Undertaker. And he talks about how The Undertaker has been here for 15 years. He's done it all, blah, blah, blah. But Randy Orton is the legend killer. And all of The Undertaker's victims have been great men, great wrestlers. But all of Randy's victims have been legends.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay, dude. As if The Undertaker...
That was the gimmick, is that Randy Orton would be called the legend killer, and he beat the shit out of old dudes.
Yeah, first of all, saying like, you know what I'm good at? Beating up old men is weird flex, but okay. Second of all, fucking hilarious of you to insinuate that like Mark Calloway in his longer, more prestigious career has not fought as high profile as you have. Sure.
When Undertaker beat Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock and Mankind and Kane, nah, those weren't legends.
That ain't shit. That ain't shit.
And so The Undertaker took away Randy's chance at immortality. This is a funny thing to hear in 2022, where Randy's status as one of the greatest of all time is very well secure.
Yeah.
This is a funny thing to hear Randy complaining about in 2005.
Nobody cares about me.
I lost one match at WrestleMania. I will never be an all-timer now.
I'm fading into irrelevance. Get good, bitch. And he did.
Yeah, and so he took away Taker's chance at the world title. And he hates The Undertaker. And he spits in the face of his legacy. And Randy talks about how his legacy, all the legends he beat, and how he became the youngest world champion ever, which is true.
This is true.
Fair
enough.
and then Randy Orton will not rest until The Undertaker joins the long list of legends he's beaten. And so Randy Orton wants a match at SummerSlam, and he demands an answer from The Undertaker right now.
And he's like, Undertaker, I know you're there. I know you're blah, 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 blah. And Undertaker's music hits, and Austin and I, like, strapped in for the full ass, like, 5 minutes because I needed more filler in my filler. But to the show's credit, we just get Undertaker's voice going, oh, you think you're the best? Well, guess what, bitch? I'm the best. And
I wrote down the whole promo because it's like 2 lines. It's 2 sentences.
Okay. Oh, fair enough.
But at first I made note of RKO pops up on the screen ominously.
Ominously.
Like it's the usual Undertaker spooky imagery video bit, and then they put like RKO in the middle of it.
But
like,
then,
whoa, spooky, and Undertaker's voice is over. Randy Orton, you want a legacy at SummerSlam? You will rest in peace.
And RKO slowly turns into
R.I.P.
It's so spooky. Oh, what a Halloween episode.
Randy acts all like kind of freaked out by this. Randy Orton is freaked out by basic PowerPoint.
Yeah, I know. Randy Orton is so, hey man, he spends all of his time fucking in the gym training, okay? He doesn't have time to learn Microsoft PowerPoint.
So there we
Undertaker,
go.
on the other hand, Undertaker is a respectable businessman who owns a funeral home and so has to give presentations to his financial backers. He knows everything about PowerPoint and how spooky it is. Let me show you my dark magic of Microsoft PowerPoint 05.
My dark magic transition animation.
Oh, and all the investors go, oh. And then their eyes start bleeding. Anyway.
Yeah, all right. Speaking of spooky, another
fucking boogeyman promo.
We got more boogeyman.
Why are they doing this shit every week? They are just putting all of their stock into advertising the goddamn boogeyman. Which, like, why? You already got one spooky man. You already got one spooky man, though. Why do you need another? And why do you need to advertise him every fucking week?
Well, we need spooky guys so that the Undertaker has more spooky guys to eventually fight in a spooky guy v spooky guy fight.
Why do we need spooky guy v spooky guy?
Because they like doing spooky guy v spooky guy. It's basically why Undertaker beat Bray Wyatt's ass for like 3 years straight. Is spooky guy v spooky guy.
There can only be one. Anyway, I swear to God, these fucking Boogeyman promos, like advertisements too, they get longer every time. The narration, I swear to God, just gets longer, and it just reads like, it continues to just read like parody. Oh my God, this is such a joke. It would have been so much funnier if it were a fucking, like, a bait and switch comedy character. Please.
I hate that we're not gonna see the fucking Boogeyman after all.
I don't hate that. I'm in fact very grateful for that.
I'm gonna have to plan out something next year's Halloween episode. We can specifically do the Boogeyman.
No.
It's either that or a really bad Halloween Havoc. I have a year to figure this out.
Oh, hey, the Halloween Havoc that I just watched a video on from Wrestling with Regret talking about fucking Dark Sting or whatever. Dark Scorpion.
Oh, there are so many bad Halloween Havocs.
Wait, there are more than one bad Halloween Havoc?
Halloween Havoc was where WCW put all their shitty, corny wrestling ideas all on the same night.
Dude, can't we just watch the episode of AEW where Hangman Page popped out of the Stay Puft suit?
You see, that's an idea. And I would think about that. But also, I want to do a bad Halloween.
But also, fuck David, yeah. Oh, geez, okay.
In so many words. I'm not going to say it in so many words, but you know.
Oh, geez, okay.
back to our regularly scheduled broadcast of the evening. Eddie Guerrero is in the parking lot directing a limo pulling up, and out pops a mysterious woman who they will call that woman most of the night. This is all she's in my notes. Is this.
I started getting hyped because in my notes I'm immediately putting, oh shit, Mamacita on site,
which is impressive because that's exactly what they wanted you to think.
Yeah.
So congrats, you reacted the exact way they wanted you to.
Look, we'll get there, all right?
Yeah. So Eddie's all like flirty with her. And he's like, without her, there'd be no chapter 2. And she's like, can we get out of here? Can we go? I mean, it sure is hot in this arena. And he's like, oh, it's about to get a lot hotter.
Yeah. Again, Eddie's zooted out of his mind.
He is. So we get to our main event of the evening. All the third whole match we've had today. Rey Mysterio versus Christian. I wrote Teddy Long says, fuck your main event. I care more about chapter 2 because chapter 2
it's not even a main event.
Not truly.
Teddy Long is here for the tea. Teddy Long is sippy boy.
He is. So, I mean, Rey and Christian start having a match. The match is fine. It's a match.
Man, I wish I could have seen it.
I did see it, and I was like, there is nothing of there's nothing to truly remember about this match.
I mean, it's a Rey match, so of course it's going to be good.
It's good, but it's like, is it the kind of match I'm going to ever want to remember? No.
Also, next week we're going to be in Columbus. Oh, shit.
Yeah, they talk about that. Is the next episode of Smackdown is in Nationwide Arena.
Didn't they said it was like a debut of some kind or something?
Maybe. I don't know how long has the fucking Nationwide Arena been that thing actually? Quick.
Wouldn't have been SmackDown's Columbus debut.
Nah. It might have been. That might have been it. That might, because the Nationwide opened in 2000, but that might have been it. That might have been SmackDown's first Columbus show. WWE doesn't tour Columbus that often,
which is unfortunate.
Like regularly. Columbus is kind of like
the best states in the world: Columbus and Michigan, or Ohio and Michigan. Yes, the state of Columbus. The two best states in the world: Ohio and Michigan get so neglected by. Except I will say, except GCG. GCG fucking loves Detroit at the very least.
Mm-hmm. Columbus is kind of like a B- market. Like,
hey, you get the Schwarzenegger Classic every year at least. Hey,
we do. So Eddie and that woman come out to sit on the top of the stage for the entirety of the match. And you would think that perhaps this would distract Rey Mysterio more often in the match, and they try to say so on commentary, but that isn't really what happens. So
yeah, no, I was as soon as Eddie and that woman came out, I'm like, oh, of course Rey's losing this. That's the whole point. It's the downfall of Rey Mysterio. The pride cometh before the fall. But then, like, no, because like Rey's getting dicked on by Christian, but then Rey regains control, but then he loses control again. But he at one point gets Christian set up for the 619, and he hits it, and 1, 2, 3 down, and Rey fucking snags it, and I have to say it makes it even fucking. It's really funny to me that they're absolutely refusing to let Rey lose during this arc, just to like, for more like heat from Eddie, just to like have Eddie keep watching Rey win, either to him or someone else.
Yeah. My only other real note is that Taz and Cole have a whole conversation about like the potential psychological impact this could all be having on Dominik. Which is, that's nice of you to consider that angle.
I know. Well, see, it is nice, that they considered it from that angle, but all I kind of got from that was like Cole basically saying that SmackDown is no place for family drama, which are
That's
you
a
sure about
lie.
that? That's a goddamn lie. I mean, I guess most of this tends to happen on Raw, so maybe saying specifically this shit tends to get concentrated into Raw. But either way, are you sure that broadly the WWE is not run
SmackDown.
by the
I would like.
McMahons
I
is
would
not the
like.
place
I
for
would.
family drama?
I would like to point out that WWE did a match on pay-per-view where Vince wrestled his own daughter, Stephanie. And where do you think that feud happened on? You're correct. SmackDown.
Because Stephanie ran SmackDown.
Right.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. SmackDown. Cole, what the fuck are you talking about? SmackDown is one of the places for family drama. Dipshit. But yeah.
Which also, what a crazy thing to just put on pay-per-view. Might have to watch that sometime.
Oh, Christ. It's better than an incest baby. It's what I got to keep telling myself. It's better than an incest baby.
True.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Cole lampshading how weird it is that this is basically just the revenge version of Weird Flex, but okay.
Yeah, Cole also thinks this whole thing is silly and insane, and it's like this is all because
you're not wrong.
Eddie is just really jealous about losing all the time, and it's like maybe he could just work on himself and not lose instead of trying to do it this way.
No. Why would he do that? His name is Eddie Guerrero. No, that's not how that works, Austin. I don't think you've been paying attention.
You know what? You're right. Yeah. So after Ray wins, he gets a microphone and demands that Eddie come down to the ring so they can start fighting tonight. And Eddie says he'd love to come down there and kick his ass, but he has manners. And he wants to introduce a very good friend from the past, Anna. And Anna is going to help Eddie tell chapter 2. And so he hands her over the storybook and asks her to go take it to Ray so that Ray can see it all up close. And she's
walking into Ray. And while she's doing that, Eddie's like, now here's the thing, Ray. You can read it or I'll read it. Which, like, well, Eddie is delivering that line with passion and fire. That is truly something to behold. What exactly is the threat here? Either Ray can read it or Eddie will read it. So either way, it's getting read. Eddie, I don't think you quite thought this threat through, buddy.
Well, I mean, I guess you can see why, because Ray was not compelled to act by the threat. But Ray takes the book, he opens it up to where chapter 2 is, and he finds in it a blue piece of paper. And Ray is like stunned, apparently, to read this. So Eddie decides to go ahead and start and, read chapter 2. And where Eddie has served Ray custody papers.
Man, I really want to know how Eddie would have narrated this at the beginning of this show. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Dominik. And his biological father was fucking salty that he kept losing to his adopted father.
So he went
and got custody papers. And here's what the custody papers said. And then he just reads off the entire legalese of the custody paper. Also, I want to point out that the paper that these custody papers were printed on were like stark fucking blue.
Mm-hmm.
Is that common? Do legal papers tend to get served on like colored paper?
Somehow I doubt it.
I doubt it too, but it also makes me. Whose decision was it to like print it on color? Like, what was the contract from earlier? The last of their white paper, and they're like, "Well, all we got is this blue."
God damn it! All we got is blue. Fine.
I mean, it makes perfect sense to me.
But Eddie has been served custody papers, and Ray has. And next week, Ray must bring Dominik with him to the arena next week so that he can hand him over to Eddie, because Eddie has been found in the court legally and biologically to be Dom's true father, which
Yeah.
I don't think that needed to. I mean, yes, he is his father. That was all. That wasn't really.
I don't think it's necessarily how that works, Eddie.
And quite frankly, I would really like to know what court gave Eddie custody of Ray's child that he has been raising for 8 years with zero communication or discussion with Ray or Dominik.
Well, yeah. See, that's the thing. Ray, like, so Eddie finishes off his kind of end of the speech by saying, like, bring Dominik, and I'll give you a chance to prove that you really love him, and if you prove that to me, maybe I'll let you keep him.
I wrote press X to doubt when he said
press
that.
X to doubt, first of all. Yeah, but then Ray picks up the mic and immediately makes the very prescient point that Eddie has been an extremely absent father if he's trying to claim custody all of a fucking sudden.
Yeah, my understanding, I am not a lawyer, as they say on the old Reddit arena, on the old social medias, but it's my understanding that, like, in a situation like this, they would consider, the home living situation of both parties, how Ray has taken care of Dominik so far. They would ask Dominik's opinion on the matter. And it's like, I'm struggling to see how the courts would look at this situation where Ray and his wife have been taking care of Dominik for 8 years and there has been no issues at all. And if you ask Dominik, he would almost certainly choose to stay with Ray and his wife. And whereas Eddie is single and clearly erratic right now. And I just don't understand how the court would argue, like, oh yeah, get Eddie, single father Eddie Guerrero, he's gonna get legal custody of his child.
Austin, I need your help. I need help brainstorming, because as we were talking about this just now, I've been making jokes about this throughout this arc and in some areas throughout our podcast. But as you are well aware, my significant other hates wrestling and hates our podcast.
Very much so.
Yes.
I find it extremely amusing.
Oh, I do too. It's very funny how she keeps up the bit. But here's the problem that I just realized, because you know what one of her areas of, like, kind of specialty is? Family law.
All right, so
we need we need to find a way to get her on this show before this arc is over, Austin.
That's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
Before we come back here next time, we got to know her opinion on this case.
I will ask her. I think if I bring it up to her in the right way, I can get her to answer. Now, mind you, the answer will probably be bookended with, "This is stupid," and "You're stupid." However,
yeah, probably yes.
I think I have to get her opinion on this, because this is I need to get, like, the real world perspective on how dumb this shit is.
She'll be proud to know that I dare to be stupid.
Hey-o!
Right. So,
honestly, God. Well,
back
that's
on
gonna
topic
be fun
here
homework for me.
Is that Ray cuts, honestly, great promo, very heartfelt. Talking about everything
good on mic. Dude doesn't get handed the mic enough, but he's good on mic.
No, he doesn't. Basically, everything I just kind of said here is that, his wife Angie and they've raised Dominik for 8 years. Dominik's first words were "Dad," and he was talking to Ray.
How symbolic.
Ray taught him to ride a bike and took him to the hospital when he broke his arm and took care of him and saw him cry. And Ray explained that they were going to tell him about Eddie, but not until he was old enough to understand it.
Yeah, so there we go. The whole thing, Ray was fucking going to tell Eddie. Mm-hmm. It just didn't. He just was like, yeah, we're going to wait till, or was going to tell Dominik. They were just going to wait till he's older. So Ray wasn't even planning on fully lying to his goddamn kid. He was just going to wait till, like, he was old enough to understand. Oh, this is fun. So, like, we were playing this up like there's gonna be some morally dubious shit on Ray's conscience. No, there's nothing. There is nothing wrong with this. The only thing that's remotely quote unquote wrong with this is the awkwardness of the inevitable "you're adopted" discussion when Dominik's a few years older.
Yeah. But Ray says because Eddie opened his big mouth and he's made his son feel 6 feet under the ground. What an interesting way to use that phrase.
Yeah, Undertaker's not involved in this feud, but okay.
He basically says that Dominik is feeling real depressed and weird right now, and he hasn't talked to Ray in a week. And Ray is like, he gets down on his knees, and he's like, he's begging Eddie to not hurt Dominik anymore. This isn't about them two anymore. It's about Dominik, please. And Eddie looks affected by this, actually. He does initially look like that Ray is getting through to him about this.
Yeah, like Eddie kind of has this look of like, wait, fuck, maybe he actually
for a second. Something sanity broke through. And then of course, as always, the lawyers showed up and ruined it.
Hey, fucking lawyers, man. Goddamn, they're the worst.
Right. But Anna whispers in his ear, and Eddie starts laughing, and he's like, "You almost had me there. You had me there, but you're not any better than I am." And this is when Eddie reveals that Anna, even though they have been framing it in such a way to make you think that Anna is the mamacita, who is Dom's biological mother, but no, Anna is Eddie's lawyer. And
which man, you know what? I'll admit, that was my internal misogyny showing through. I was like, this is clearly a slut that Eddie fucked once, and you know what? I'm sorry, women. #Squad W.
True. And Eddie, and she's told him that this is all manipulation by Ray. And honestly, it's kind of a pitiable situation that Eddie is so far gone that he can own. This is my thought while watching this segment. Is like Eddie is so far gone that he can only see things the way he would act. He can't imagine Ray being sincere. It has to be some sort of emotional manipulation because that's all Eddie knows at this point.
You know, it's fucking wild because they are clearly trying to take this arc serious. Like, it's easy to forget when you and I are here for the memes. We are here for the memes. But like, they were trying to take this arc seriously, but also like it's 2005 WWE. There's a certain like surface level to this, but because Eddie Guerrero is Eddie Guerrero as a performer and just takes everything up to a fucking 11, like it kind of shoots the moon. It starts out at a base level of like trying to take it seriously on like a surface level, and then it like as soon as it hits the ground running, it just gets goofy and hilarious. But like, you think about it for more than 10 seconds, and it kind of shoots the moon fucking back to like really harrowing of like Eddie Guerrero there's something so deeply wrong with him internally that after losing a few matches to his like kind of friend, his supposed best friend, that he would destroy his friend's life, his friend's son's life / his biological son's life, and maybe even his own life, considering how the fuck Vicky reacted, and all because of wrestling, of a wrestling feud. And it's like this harrowing depiction of a man who's just so self-obsessed that he can't see a world past the cruelty that he thinks he needs to inflict on others. And it's like, man, if they really played into some of this shit, you could get like one of the darkest looks at like a wrestler's psyche in the entire wrestling history. And even the ladder match could be a commentary on like just how insane this whole thing is. But nah, we're just kind of like play it straight and not like look too much into the subtext. Walkity walkity walk.
Men will literally compete for the custody of their child in a ladder match instead of going to
that, but unironically, that's what this whole fucking arc is. Eddie, I am begging you, go to therapy.
Right.
Do some guided meditations or something. Jesus.
Yeah. But Eddie's like, if I lied to my son all his life, would he trust me? I wouldn't. And Eddie is like, brings up that he has 3 girls that he tells the truth to all the time because God knows I never lie.
But even that's bullshit because clearly, like, well, actually, I don't know. Did Vicky know about they were kind of unclear as to whether Vicky knew about the Dominik thing.
It doesn't seem like I didn't read it as Vicky knew about the lie. She just knew that like whatever this was going to hurt Ray, and that's not okay.
Yeah. So like clearly that's bullshit because Eddie's just as much in on this lie with his own family because he hasn't clearly told them jack shit.
But you see, Eddie doesn't lie, so clearly he could not have been lying to his family. So that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But Dom is the son Eddie has always wanted.
He then proceeds to say, fuck my daughters. I always wanted a son.
And he will carry the Guerrero legacy.
Which I feel so fucking vindicated. Because that means my theory from like kind of that was formulated early on from like the first video we got of that time Eddie fucking B&E Dom's daycare. Like all this is that Eddie just wants a goddamn like wrestling protege. That's what this shit boils down to.
And next week, we'll be getting Chapter 3. Dom comes home to his poppy.
Oh, shit, buddy. Oh, my God. It just keeps getting more and more insane. I know exactly where this shit's going, but seeing it play out in real time rules so hard because it is so unhinged.
Yep. As usual, Eddie and Ray is the highlight of these episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it's Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. They're going to be the best part of anything they do ever.
Mm-hmm. The real shocking part is how little of substance everything else was.
Oh my God. Filler, 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 filler.
Yeah. So, not a great week necessarily.
No, not really.
But, you know, Chapter 2, I think, delivered. At least that delivered.
Oh, that was pure magic.
Next time we were here, of course, we're gonna have to see Chapter 3.
I'm so excited for Chapter 3. Austin, I am a man who doesn't read often, nearly as often as I should.
Me neither.
And I will admit, because of that, I sometimes can take this whole chapter thing for granted. I sit there and I kind of turn. I'm like, that's a new chapter. That's nice. But this arc has shown me clearly how I should react every time I flip to a new chapter, which is Chapter 3. Whoa! That's this arc, Austin, is teaching me literacy. Is what I'm getting. It's very educational.
Yeah, all right.
What am I saying? Jesus
Christ. And at that, we're gonna end this episode today.
Absolutely.
But next time on the Noobs and Knockouts podcast, I decided to just kind of, there are episodes in wrestling that are like iconic in and of themselves, but the stories around them are not necessarily so good that I could make an entire arc about them. Plus, there's only so much time to do. It would take forever for me to hit all the important episodes.
Oh, absolutely.
5-episode arc on the show. So next week is one of those where like I don't think I could put together like an arc to hit it, but it's one of the most historic episodes of wrestling. And I just felt like, let's do it. Next time on the Noobs and Knockouts podcast, we will be covering I am immediately blanking on the date,
Wow.
Incredible.
You're ruining the end of the episode.
I am. But we will be watching the last episode of Raw before WrestleMania 17 in 2001.
Ooh.
Most remembered for the fact that it is the episode where Vince McMahon announces to the world that WCW's fate is now in his hands.
Oh shit! The death knells. Dies irae, dies illa.
Dearly beloved. Oh, we'll save that for next time.
Hell yeah!
But so it is the episode where Vince announces he has bought WCW.
That's, oh my god, no fucking way, dude.
Right. But that is for next time. Until then, David, hit our plugs.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, dear friends, thanks once again for tuning in to yet another episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast. We are so happy to have you here. Returning listeners, viewers, what have you. Hey, how's it going? You know the drill. Thanks again for once again welcoming us back into your eardrums, your eyeballs, whatever it is you use to consume our content. You know where to find us. Just keep coming back. We love you guys. Come on. New people, what's up? Hey, it's great to have you here. If you're brand new, welcome. We here at the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast like to think we're friendly to both noobs and knockouts alike. So whether you're brand new to the wild, wacky world of wrestling or you're a veteran of all this weird bullshit, either way, we hope you've had a great time and we hope it feels accessible to you. We hope you want to keep coming back and having a great time with us week after week after week. If you would like to keep having a great time with us and you're not entirely sure how to do so, not to worry, my friends, I have you covered. First of all, you can find us on YouTube. We are the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on YouTube. Hit subscribe, ring that bell. Make sure it turns a nice little solid color so you get notifications every single time we drop a brand new episode. Give us that sweet engagement. And check out all of our playlists. Austin has been kind enough to organize all the arcs and shit that we follow into their own separate playlists. So if you want to follow something all the way down without doing a whole lot of skipping, that's an option. Ain't that nifty? And you can see our beautiful faces, our sexy costumes that we sometimes wear, all the little visual gags we hide in there.
Yeah, this is one of those heck of an episodes to be watching the video version. I'll tell you that.
Hey, I like my Stitch makeup. I think it's cute. All right, but don't at me. But anyway, so. Yeah, YouTube, do it. But if you're the type of person who likes focusing the experience solely on your ears, we understand. We have you covered there too, because Noobs and Knockouts Podcast can be found on 3 of the best places to find your podcast, which would be Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Come check us out there. Download us, give us ratings, reviews, all that good stuff is greatly appreciated. It helps out the show, tells people and tells the algorithm, hey, these guys are pretty cool and maybe you should check them out more. I don't know. I'm just saying. So yeah. Noobs and Knockouts, YouTube, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Hit us up there. But, of course, if you want to get in contact with us, we got some social media options, too. That's pretty fucking nifty. So, first of all, Noobs and...
Noobs and Knockouts see that, huh?
Is on YouTube, or is on Twitter. Fuck. On Twitter, you can find us at Noobs and Knox Pod on Twitter. That's at Noobs, the letter N, Knox Pod on Twitter. Come check us out there. We have a great time over on the Twitter. We post memes. We engage in discourse. We drop notifications every single time we put out a brand new episode, so you guys know what the hell's going on. We also have, at least in theory, weekly wrestling live tweeting on our show. We're kind of figuring that shit out. Austin has kind of taken a break from his weekly wrestling watching. And I am currently in rehearsals for a musical. I try to, at the very least, live tweet Smackdown because I don't tend to have rehearsals on Fridays. But even then, it's kind of hit or miss at times. But we try to engage when we can and check it out when you can. Mm-hmm. But at the very, very least, our boy Austin is kind enough to live tweet all of the pay-per-views that happen, or almost all the pay-per-views that happen. So, my friend, what is on the docket coming up?
Yeah, they keep putting pay-per-views on Saturdays these days, and in fall, that's not a good day for me. But, sorry, I care more about college football than pro wrestling pay-per-views, I'm afraid. But upcoming, at least, to let the people know what's going on, is for WWE, AEW, and Impact Wrestling. I keep a follow on those. Upcoming for WWE, Oof and Owie and Yikes. The next WWE show is Crown Jewel on Saturday, November the 5th. That is one of WWE's biannual shows to Saudi Arabia as paid for by the Saudi crown prince. So I have, if you're watching, if you're not watching on YouTube, you should check out, you should pop up for the YouTube VOD for just this particular lower third I have on right now. But fuck these shows. I am morally opposed to them.
So hard, dude.
You know, and in terms of a line in the sand of where I will not support immorality in wrestling, right about here.
Yeah, seriously.
So, like, Roman Reigns
not that wrestling outside of Saudi Arabia is a completely moral business. However,
like I said, there's a line in the sand here.
Yep.
Saudi's just over it. But Roman Reigns is facing Logan Paul, if that interests you at all, for the Uwu title.
I still hope so bad Logan Paul gets the Uwu championship for the memes, dude. That would be so fucking stupid.
So next pay-per-view after that will be Survivor Series of War Games. So that's going to be pretty sick, but that's for later in November. We'll get to it when we get to it. Then for AEW, their next pay-per-view is not until November 19th with Full Gear. Obviously, they don't have any matches yet. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. We'll get to them. And for Impact Wrestling, their next pay-per-view is Hard to Kill in January.
Starring their top star, Bobby Fish.
Of course. So obviously, there are no matches. There's no matches here. So
what?
We'll when there are more matches to talk about, we'll talk about more matches. How about that?
Absolutely. Yeah, so be sure to check all of that shit out. It's a great time over on the Twitter. Austin and I, we have fun. If you for any reason enjoy listening to us ramble about wrestling over here, our voices carry over pretty well. Austin's all brilliant and I'm all memey. You know how it is. So check us out at the Twitter at Noobs and Knockouts Pod. It's a great time. Of course, if you want to get in super direct contact with us, we have an email address too. You can email us at noobsandknockoutspod@gmail.com. That's noobs, the word and this time, knockoutspod@gmail.com. Come say hi to us there. Tell us what you like about the show, what you don't like, things you want to see more of, less of, any kind of request you have for wrestling arcs, companies, eras, adjacent media, anything like that. We'd love to hear it. Tell us how based and red-pilled our hot takes are, how fucking dumb you think they are. Start discourse or just come say hi. We love people saying hi. We will love to say hi back. News and knockoutspod@gmail.com. And of course, finally, you can find us on Patreon. We are also the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on Patreon. You can find the link for that in our Twitter. That's why I told it to you earlier. Isn't that nifty? $1 a month on our Patreon gets you early access to episodes and a shout out at the end of each episode. Shout out to a friend of the show, Sugar Daddy Kyle Smith, for his support of the show. We appreciate you so much, buddy. We hope you enjoy those perks. If you want to enjoy your perks along with Kyle, come check us out, Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on Patreon. Link in the Twitter.
See you all next time.
So long. Hell